Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
It's a Monday morning in the summer in the beautiful part of the world, wherever you're listening to us. And I've got all of us gathered around the card table. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome back.
Cover all your bases.
Yes, wherever you are.
It's probably beautiful.
Super nice where you are.
There's a podcast I listen to, and they're like, we don't know what day you listen to this. So he started to kind of mash all the days together, and it became a thing on this podcast. They always say, for the week of Schmur's Day, like just stick them all together. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, in case you don't know what all the days of the week are. Another podcast I listen to says, happy non-specific time of the day, everyone. So we could do both of those for the week of Schmur's Day. Happy non-specific time of the week. Let's raise our glasses on this non-specific day that people might be listening.
Brought to you by Fairlife.
On behalf of the men and women at Navy Federal Credit Union and the people that love chocolate milk, that's what a protein.
It's funny that he pours
drink.
his Boost into a Fairlife container, so it makes him look younger.
Do you say booze? He pours his booze into a Fairlife container for this non-specific early time of day. And I've got the mug that lights up, Doug. I've got the Tequamanon Falls mug.
Oh, yeah. It gets me going every time.
Yep. My Michigan tourist mug. So on behalf of the men and women making podcast in Mom's Basement and the men and women at Navy Federal Credit Union, here's to our troops and to our veterans, people that have served our country. Thanks for all that you do. Let's go stack some Benjamins together, shall we?
Hoorah.
Thanks, everybody.
I've got a 4-bedroom house in a great community. Like my car? It's new. I even belong to the local golf club. How do I do it? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs.
Live from Joe's mom's basement, it's the Stacking Benjamin Show. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and is AI stealing your job? We'll find one segment of the population who says the opposite is true. How can you lean into AI? We'll tackle that today. Plus, while we might dispute whether AI is great for your career, we will tackle one task that AI is great at, stealing your data. Plus, we'll answer a question from one stacker who thought, I'd better call Saul. Sehy and OG. John wants to know what questions he should ask when trying to hire a financial advisor. And that's not all. I'll also share a TikTok minute about dating life, and then I'll share some incredible money-themed trivia. And now, 2 guys who treat their 401k like a houseplant. What, you guys just buy it at the store and water it once and hope it works out? And now, 2 guys who treat their 401k like a houseplant, set it and forget it and just watch it grow. It's Joe and G.
Hey there, stackers. Happy Monday. You are in for a phenomenal next hour. Man, that sets the bar high, doesn't it? You're in for a pretty darn good. I should do that.
This takes
next
an hour.
It's going to be great. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk money. And what's more fun than talking AI with 2 guys who definitely could never be replaced by AI, Doug and OG. How are you, OG?
I'm great. Yeah, watched a little golf this past weekend.
He's shaking his head sideways and saying positive things.
See, because an AI would never do that.
Right.
It wouldn't do that.
He zigged when you thought he was going to zag.
And go with it. Yeah. It is constantly
Rubbing my tummy and patting my head at the same time. beat that, ChatGPT.
I don't mean to brag, but I can rub my tummy and pat my head.
Can you guys do it? Can you guys do that with both? Everybody can do that if you concentrate, but can you do it with both hands? Can you switch hands and do it? I can't.
Probably not. Doubt I can.
Doug's ambidextrous.
But what I can do is talk about a big headline about AI. We can answer a listener call. We're going to have some fun today. It's going to be a good time. So
you insist.
Let's get into it. We got a big headline today. As Doug, you so eloquently said earlier, we're going to dive into that in just a moment. But before that, we got a couple sponsors that make sure we can keep on keeping on, and you don't pay a penny for any of this goodness. Pinch yourself. We're going to listen to a couple of their messages, and then we're all about AI, something AI is really good at and something AI is not that great at. Let's go. Dell PCs with Intel Inside are built for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. They're for those all-night study sessions, the moment you're working from a cafe and realize every outlet's taken, the times you're deep in your flow and can't be interrupted by an auto update. That's why Dell builds tech that adapts to you. Built with long-lasting batteries so you're not scrambling for an outlet, and built-in intelligence that makes updates around your schedule, not in the middle of it. Find technology built for the way you work at Dell.com/Dell PCs. Built for you. In business, there is no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. And when you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on, because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else, your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS Ground Advantage. We mean business.
Hello, darlings. And now it's time for your favorite part of the show, our Stacking Benjamin's headlines.
Let's begin with a headline about something where AI is not doing things as well as a lot of people think. AI is destroying jobs. A lot of people think that. But Gen Z has found a safe haven. This is from Business Insider, written by Amanda Hoover. And Amanda writes, 2 years ago, Zachariah Osborne sat down to fill out the common application for college. He dreaded going to school and sitting at a desk all day, but he'd always done well, so an undergraduate degree seemed like a no-brainer. His parents had pushed it too, but staring down the application at midnight one night during his senior year, Osborne decided to scrap the plan. Quote, I felt like a fraud. He didn't know what kind of career he wanted and didn't have the money for college. Instead of taking out student loans and spending a few semesters partying and soul searching, he decided to focus on growing his landscaping side hustle into a full-time business. Now at age 20, he's the owner of Z's Exterior Services, which does lawn care, mulching, power washing, and other landscaping services in Northern Virginia. He's hired a handful of full and part-time employees and his plans to continue expanding. And he says he still gets a taste of the college experience when he visits his girlfriend.
So is there a contention that they solved the AI taking your job problem by just not doing anything that AI can do?
Basically, yes.
Yet?
Here's the cool thing about Gen Z is what Gen Z has done. If you dive further into this piece, Gen Z has figured out what AI is good at and what AI is not good at. And instead of losing a job to AI, OG, what he's done is he has done a job that AI will never be able to do. And he's using AI for his advertising, for his marketing, to help out with some of his questions around how to run a business. So he's actually implemented AI into his business because he's comfortable with AI. He knows the nooks and crannies, as mom says, about where AI is great and where he's not going to be able to compete and where AI is not great. And he's able to then dive in and actually use that to be even more productive.
Until the commercial grade lawnmowers come in that have AI robotics built into them.
But then he's got the next thing. So what you're saying then is that AI is going to take all our jobs?
No,
is that what you're arguing?
No, and it is cool that he found a way to merge the two to where it's not currently dominant, and in the landscape industry and in more manual tasks, and use it for things that allow him to focus on that. Yeah, that part's cool.
This has happened with every single change we've had. And given AI is a huge change, but the huge amount of fear we have around AI, I think you just have a choice. Your choice is embrace it and find out where the spots are that you can use it to excel and get ahead, or you go crawl in a corner and go, my life is over. Things are done. Like, I am cooked. And clearly this kid decides on
Yeah, he chose that path. I was going to say, I definitely think that, that's kind of the two extremes. Like, oh, well, I guess I can never ... because the robots are coming. I happen to think that all it's going to do is raise our productivity to the next higher thing. It's like, if I can get something, I just saw something the other day, as a matter of fact, for this. There's a washing machine, and maybe this is just not news to anybody else but me. There's a washing machine that washes and dries in the same thing, so you don't have to go get it.
Those have been around forever. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
You haven't either, Joe?
Oh, they've been in Europe for
never.
I don't live in Europe,
maybe more.
There, Dougie. So
Dude,
I don't.
And they suck.
What is up with Doug today? No matter what we talk. Oh, until the next AI takes your job.
You guys.
I've heard of all this.
My thinking on it was, I don't remove two devices for one. I have two devices that do twice as much. So I can do two loads of laundry at the same time, and it's done. And so I don't think about these tools, whether it's a tech tool like an AI that can write something or research something or provide some counsel on different things as a replacement. I think of it as just another arrow in the quiver and just another thing that I can use to increase my productivity or increase my free time. You know what I mean? It's like, I can take away this $5 an hour job and give it to this robot that'll do it for $20 a month, ChatGPT. And then I can go do whatever I want to do. I can be healthier. I can work out. I can find that time to do whatever. That's the key part of this, however, is that if you just take all of your free time or all this time saved, the premise of all of this is that we're going to have this huge productivity boost, which I think we will. But that's assuming that you take this free time, this newfound time, and actually use it for good and not for being a sloth.
Yeah, Joe, I know I sound contrarian, but I couldn't be more on board with what OG just said and what you were kind of alluding to earlier. I mean, the Luddites are a great early example of this. In the early 1800s, like 1810, somewhere in there, they were textile workers who were incredibly opposed, terrified of the new automated mechanical weaving automated looms in that industry. And so they decided to, what's the word I'm looking for? Forsake all kinds of automation and any sort of mechanism. Talk about sticking your head in a hole. No, every kind of advancement we've created for ourselves in the last 300 years has just led to the evolution of a next set of jobs that didn't exist 30 years prior to that. I'm totally with you, OG, on this. And I think you too, Joe. I was just trying to go for the easy joke because that's my job.
What's interesting about this, there is actually, you got to stick with me for all three of these next dominoes that this piece goes into. It says a survey from early career site Handshake found that 62% of college seniors who were familiar with AI tools said they were at least somewhat concerned that rising automation via AI would affect their career prospects. That's up from 44% just a couple of years ago in 2023. So 44% up to 62% of college seniors going, yeah, I don't know. It looks sketchy. What's interesting is at the same time, blue collar jobs, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on a headline, some of which pay a stable six figures, are starting to look more like an oasis. And then you scroll down just a little further and listen to this. And just as the need for workers in renewable energy, commercial and home construction and public infrastructure is expected to rise, thanks to projects like the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act and a global investment in new energy sources, home prices are soaring, in part thanks to construction worker shortages, and wages for those workers is up. So what's happening? This is capitalism, guys, at work. This is totally capitalism at work. We find a way to plug all these holes in areas that were high-paying jobs and now don't need to be, because automation can take those. And what do we have? We got this problem with housing. I mean, even when Peter Maluk was on, he was talking about how, man, I don't know how the housing shortage isn't going to solve itself anytime soon. Now we've got a deal where college prices are through the roof. There's a job AI can't do, which is these blue collar construction jobs. They pay really, really well. And now the funnel, OG, begins to flow into that area where people can use AI when it's needed, technology when it's needed. Like we said a few weeks ago when Len Penzo was hanging out with us, there's still going to be a lot of technology on these jobs now that didn't exist 20 years ago. But we could see the housing shortage and far quicker than we thought because of AI as a, not a direct result, but as a end around.
Well, I don't know whether it's housing. I'm not an expert and able to speak on that, but it's like, it just seems to me that anytime that you can do something more accurately and more better, faster, obviously it's going to be helpful and it's going to raise all the productivity of that thing. I mean, using housing as an example, at one point in time, you had to manually fill out your permit. You had to get out a paper and a pencil and a protractor and, and figure out how many linear feet of lumber you needed by using a calculator. And now you design the house one time and you go, is this good, Mr. or Mrs. Client? You design it on a computer. You don't use any, and the computer calculates instantaneously how much tile you need or hardwood or, you know what I mean? Like how much faster is that process? It's taking away all of that. And yeah, so I think there's no way for us to predict, and we can guess, I suppose, but there's no way for us to predict what the next evolution of this is going to be. And you're seeing some of this in housing, right? Where they're manufacturing housing using the AI tools that literally just map the outside of the house, make the 2 layers of the house and fill it with concrete. It just does the border of the home, and it's fire resistant and, all that sort of stuff. So there's stuff that we don't have any idea. I think for me, the lesson for AI that I've really kind of thought about over the last, 8 months or so has been that whenever I see something new that's happening, I want a piece of it. Meaning, like, I want to just go play around with it just for a little bit. Not because I'm an expert in technology or anything, but I know that thing is also going to change. Like, there's so much evolution going on in the LLM space of like ChatGPT and whatever, that it's hard to keep up with that. And you take these other tools. I bought this thing the other day. I think I showed you guys. It goes on the back of my phone. It looks like a wallet, right?
Yeah.
You put it on the back of your phone, and if you're on a call on your phone, not on your AirPods, but on your phone, you can like click the button and it will, with the vibrations of the headset, the earpiece that's built into it, it can tell what the other person is saying and can transcribe and summarize the call. Or if you're in a meeting, conference or something, you can just set this thing down. It's on the back of your phone. It's not like this big recording device that you're like cranking up. You just set it on your phone and it can get all of the speakers and all of the content, transcribe it and put it into a summary. What is that going to do for college kids? I've got a college kid coming, like, you have to take notes ever again? Like, how awesome is that? Like, what does that mean? Does it mean that he gets to skip class? That could be the negative. Well,
he's still going to have to listen to it at some point, right?
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, or can you really focus on the thing because you're not focusing on trying to type in the notes while you're hearing it? You can actually pay full attention going, I know that I've got this device that's a backup.
You could be out mowing lawns while your device is in class, and then you can sort of do class at night. It's like the modern version of night school. You're earning money and doing your stuff at night.
So complete, this is an evolution that's happening in all spaces, including education. And you talked about the higher costs or rising costs of education. I found out a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to somebody who was re-entering the school world, hadn't completed a degree, wanted to kind of knock it out, was just like, I got to do this, I got to be this 30-year-old that goes back to college. But in talking with the counselor at the university that he was enrolling at or trying to enroll at, the counselor said, listen, all of these entry-level classes that you need to get done, a lot of people just go to community college. He's like, yeah, I know, I probably do that. She said, no, there's a way better way now. There's a program, and I don't remember the name of it, somebody will know it, where it's a monthly fee for college. and you can take as many tests and as many classes and as many subjects as you want
Oh,
at
sweet.
any pace that you want for that monthly
What
fee.
a great idea.
If you're like, I don't need to be in class 24 times to read this textbook and take this test, I'm happy to do it this weekend. For your monthly fee, you can just go, I'll just read this textbook. I'll take the final exam, take it on Monday, class done, boom, move on.
And then life gets really busy for a few weeks. You can take time off and not worry about missing stuff.
Yeah. It's 100% on your pace. And it's something really obnoxiously stupid, like $100 a month or something. It's not like, well, it's $10,000 a month. You got to really burn through it. No. It's like $100 a month. You just, it's like Khan Academy or something, but it's not through Khan. But anyways, my point is that there's evolutions coming in all of these things, because I think we're recognizing that the skill set is more important. The outcome or the product, the what can you provide is more important than saying, did you actually sit in this room 36 times in the last 5 months to prove to me that you know it? Or can you just prove to me that you know it?
We can all sit back and bitch about it and complain that it's taking away opportunities. That's not going to stop it. No matter how much you post online or how much you complain about it to your friends, you're not stopping that evolution from happening. So spend your energy figuring out how to adapt to it.
Well, and here's actually, I'm glad you said that, Doug. Just amazing with the pivot, because let's spend just a couple seconds on this piece from Forbes, because that's the next question is, will it actually kill it? This is written by Eli Amdur. According to the World Economic Forum, AI will create 78 million jobs, guys, after job losses are factored in.
Yeah.
Wow.
It will create the World Economic Forum. So what's funny is, in this piece, Eli writes, if 100 million jobs, maybe more, created by AI isn't good enough for you, and he's going to talk about why he thinks the number is higher than 78 million, then it might be a good idea to either A, learn from history and rethink this matter, or B, quit reading this column right here and suffer the consequences of those who say, don't confuse me with the facts. My mind's already made up.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of people going, oh my God, it's stealing our jobs. It's taking the jobs are going to move. The jobs are clearly going to move, which is why, OG, I love what you said about, I just want to play around with it. It's a lot less scary if I play around with it, if I get to know it, if I find out what it does and what it doesn't do. It's pretty amazing. I started several months ago, I'm going to say 8 or 9 months ago, on Masterclass. I'd already been playing around with AI, but I took a Masterclass as a great introduction to AI. So for anybody out there that has, and I know you could probably get this in a lot of different places, but
You
learning
could have
about
AI give you a masterclass in AI.
That's true. Well, learning about what it's good at, what it's not good at, it's fantastic. But for a guy that didn't know AI very well at that time, I wasn't going to have AI.
Did you guys hear that Bill Gates, a couple of, 2 months ago or whatever, Bill Gates said that he thinks in 10 years, the average work week will be 2 days a week for most humans, because AI will take over most things. That's pretty aggressive.
That is pretty aggressive, because I read a piece yesterday with attorney workloads and talking about how AI has not slowed down their work week. It's made the boss man go, guess what? You can now work on,
you can do more now.
30 cases instead of 15.
That's what I'm talking about productivity increases. You take the lawyer that's billing $400 an hour. Like, you want that person to be only billing $400 an hour. That's where all the money is made. The money is not made when they're, researching stuff, or when the associate is doing, go get me all the files from the courthouse so I can read all that crap. There's no value creation there, right? That's just transferring information. You want the $400 an hour person to be like thinking on $400 an hour tasks. And when you can say, I need all of this case stuff summarized into 2 pages so I can know what's going on. And it used to take 3 associates 2 days to read all the stuff, write all the reports, and then give it in. And now you can just press a button and get it in 10 seconds. You either eliminate those people, to your point about like job loss, they're either gone, or you go, guess what, guys, we don't need you to do that anymore. You're smart lawyers. We need you thinking about the next thing. You're smart doctors. We don't need you to like sit here and write out prescriptions. We can press buttons and write prescriptions. We need you to think about how to solve these bigger problems.
Right. Because if a company were to do what everybody fears, that means they're giving up on revenue, and no company is ever going to do that. They're going to find a way to use that productivity to increase revenue, not reduce revenue.
Yeah.
You know, what's interesting talking about that? I was just thinking about my early days as a financial planner, as an example. And I remember being in and OG, You even remember this from the early days. Developing a financial plan with a client meant you would build out the financial plan on the software. You would hit print. You would then go down to the copy room and you get the stuff. Meanwhile, while it's printing out very slowly on this printer, you're grabbing a 3-hole punch. You're grabbing a 3-ring binder off the shelf. You open up the 3-ring binder. You 3-hole punch the stuff. You look through it. There's 2 mistakes. You chuck all that, right? That all goes in the recycling. And then you start over and you do it again. And you 3-hole. Just think about today how ridiculous that sounds, right?
Well, I remember, yeah, and I know you remember this too, Joe. I remember the software that we had at American Express was really quite awesome.
It was very robust.
Yeah, you'd put all the data in, and then you'd hit the solve button, and it would do all the calculations. But while you hit the solve button, you'd like hit solve and then go get a cup of coffee and talk to your buddy. And then you come back and go, oh, only 2 minutes to go. Cool, perfect.
That's right.
And then it would pop up. You'd go, oh, crap, I forgot about their old 401k at that they left, at Ford. I got to put that in, solve again. You get, and now we do that stuff in real time with people.
Yeah, no financial plan. Every financial planner is like, I don't have time to go 3-hole punch stuff. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Taking 12 minutes to do the
Everything's
plan.
digital and yeah, absolutely.
AI, I think the lesson there is
it's here to stay. Is that your prediction?
It is. This AI thing might not be a fad.
It might.
Exactly.
It might stick around.
You heard it here first, folks.
AI might not be stealing your job. So that's the thing that it's not as good at as we thought. We led with that. What's it good at? What it's not good at? Not good at stealing your job, it turns out. Your job may move, but the good news is for the foreseeable future, use a job. Let's tell you what AI actually is good at. This is from CNET, and this is written by Lance Whitney. Most AI chatbots, this is going to come as a shock, OG. You ready? Ready, Doug? You guys buckled in? Most AI chatbots devour your user data. These are the worst offenders. They are actively out there as you're using their AI, stealing your data. And guess which one is worst and which one is generally best when it comes to not stealing your data?
I know it also matters if you're paying for it or not.
Yeah. Well, Copilot from the free versions that are out there, according to CNET, has proven so far to be the least offensive. Doesn't mean it's going to be tomorrow, but so far, Copilot, the Microsoft product, the least offensive. Not as a shock to anybody. The most, according to the site Surfshark, which is a data protection platform, it turns out that Meta is stealing so much of your data every time you use their free AI-powered chatbot stuff, taking it and storing it away so that they can use it on you later. Next on the list behind Meta is Google Gemini, collects 22 different data types. By the way, Meta scoops up 32 out of 35 possible types. They looked at 35 different types of data they can steal. 90% of them, Meta. Google Gemini, 22 different. And ChatGPT, looking at maybe 15% of your data and storing it away. There's a few that are better, by the way, than ChatGPT and Copilot. That's among the ones that are most used. Jasper, which I've never used before, Grok, Prosperity, and Pi listed as stealing less, collecting less of your data. Not stealing, because you're giving it to the platform.
When you click that button
willingly.
Yeah, I understand the EULA.
Yeah. So
let's go.
Watch out. Just because it acts like your friend, looks like your friend, and you absolutely love it, and it's okay to say thank you to the AI, it's thanking you back by storing away your data and sending it someplace you may not want. All right, we'll dive more into those headlines in our 201 newsletter, stackingbenjamins.com/201. Always free, always delivered fresh to your inbox once a week. We'll continue this conversation and many like them there. But for now, I think it's time for us to move on to
most important part of the show, Joe. Hey there, Stackers. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug. And remember I told you that today we're featuring some money-themed trivia? Well, that's right. Today, we're talking about currency, which I just found out is not a term about the direction of ocean currents. It actually means money. While you'll see Treasury Secretaries' names on U.S. bills, you've never seen a creator's names on a coin, except for one. and that coin was minted way back in 1909. Victor D. Brenner designed the coin and included his initials, VDB, alongside all of the other notable symbols and writing. So here's the question. Which denomination of coin did this narcissist decide deserved the equivalent of a 1909 selfie? I'll be back right after I figure out how to actually take a selfie. How do you make the pictures come out on the other side? Every time I flip the camera around, I'm getting like the top of my head. Never figured out how that works.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Did you know Fast Growing Trees is America's largest and most trusted online nursery with thousands of trees and plants and over 2 million happy customers? Whether you're planting fruit trees, adding privacy, brightening things up with flowers, or bringing in houseplants, Fast Growing Trees has it all. Even better, they can help you find options that are right for your climate, your space, and lifestyle. Click Order Grow. Every plant arrives healthy with the Alive and Thrive guarantee straight to your door. So if you're ready to get planting, this is the moment. Right now, they have great deals on spring planting essentials, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to our show get 20% off their first purchase when using the code WWO at checkout. That's an additional 20% off. Better plants and better growing at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code WWO at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code WWO. Now's the perfect time to plant. Let's grow together. Use WWO to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. Go to growingfasttrees.com for details.
Hey there, stackers. I'm camera flipper and guy with a new hobby, Joe's mom's neighbor Doug. Way back in 1909, Victor D. Brenner decided, you know what this coin needs to make it perfect? My initials. That's how the coin he designed became the only U.S. coin in history to feature the name of the designer. But what coin was it? If you said it was the 1909 Lincoln penny, you'd be correct. And now, finish patting yourself on the back before you injure your rotator cuff, because it's time to get back to Joe and OG.
I wonder if he was told, Doug, that he could do that, or if he just said, you know what I'm going to do? Put my initials on this damn thing.
Nobody said I couldn't.
I know. You know, I do this nonprofit work building trails around town. And my favorite trail, called the Nicks Creek Trail, is this beautiful, beautiful trail. But the story about this trail was the parks director never got it approved. He just had this asphalt. He had a little money, and he made it, and he begged forgiveness. And it might be the best. It's the first trail that was in Texarkana, and it may be the best one still today. But by all stories I heard, this dude just went, yeah, we're making a trail. So same thing. The guy's like, you know what? It's my coin. I got to make the coin. Let's put my initials on it. Yeah.
Right.
Time for the TikTok Minute. The TikTok Minute is where we shine a light on a TikTok creator who's doing something either genius or air quotes genius. You know, guys, the dating world is very difficult. It's expensive, right? You go on these dates and they said 3 guys who date all the time.
Right. Picking some great topics here for the...
How am I talking about dating? But Stacker Michelle sent this to me and said, you know, dating is expensive and it's frustrating when you can't find the right date. So I was expecting somebody talking about the importance of focusing on the right thing in dates. And instead, Michelle sent us this.
Be going on a second date because this person's favorite band is U2.
So, in other words, you still haven't found what you're looking for.
And that's all Michelle sent to me was, dating's expensive and it's difficult. You need to watch this. Thank you for the little bait and switch, Michelle.
U2's a great band. Everybody just got so annoyed when Apple forced that album on us, and it was a crappy album.
Yeah, come on.
But man, the first 15 years plus of U2 were just amazing.
And you thought that was kind of the jump the shark moment, but then they jumped back over the shark when they played the Sphere. Like all of a sudden, everybody's like, I want to be in the front row for the Sphere thing. Well, you didn't have to be in the front row, right? You could be watching those videos. Right. Even if you're up high, it was great.
Years ago, this has got to be 15 plus years ago, there was an IMAX movie of a U2 concert. I think the majority of it was in South America, but I mean, that's almost as immersive as
IMAX movie or the concert.
He had to fly to the IMAX movie.
I couldn't find one close. Couldn't find one closer, so I went to Rio.
Just the majority of it.
Just the majority. He had to watch the rest of it back home.
Then I bounced up to Mexico City. But, the sound on the IMAX is as impressive as the visuals, and I'm sure the Sphere is even better.
Let's end today's show by taking a call from somebody who said, you know what, we better call Saul-Sehy NOG. This is where we help a stacker in need. If you are in need of our help, head to stackingbenjamins.com/voicemail. And you know what? For helping us make the show, we're going to give you your choice of some cool Stacking Benjamin swag from our store. If you want to check it out ahead of time, stackingbenjamins.com/shirts, or just go buy a ton of them and impress all your friends. It's a great holiday gift. We had Father's Day a few weeks ago. If you forgot about Father's Day, no time like the present to make up for lost time. But John needs some help, guys. So, hey, John, what's going on?
To start off, thanks for all the information that you guys have provided over the years. Hopefully this will come up in a Better Call Joe segment. Well, hey, Doug, sorry that 2024 didn't go as planned. Well, I'm trying to do a bit of fact finding. I know you guys have covered this, but I'm hoping that you can group all the information that I'm asking for into one response here. So what would some questions be to ask someone if I'm looking to hire them as a financial advisor? Thanks for your time and look forward to hearing your response.
Great question, John. You know what we'll do? I will also link to the longer episodes where we've actually had some of our mentors on who have talked about this, because to your point, we have done it. So if you want to dive deeper, if somebody wants to dive deeper, we'll do it. But that doesn't mean we can't dive in right now. Oh, gee, what are some of those questions we should be asking?
Well, let me just type that into ChatGPT here. And got a list of... they're still going.
While he's doing
15, 17, 18, 19.
Unbelievable.
Let me talk about up first. You can do some homework up front, John, which will also help you, because the first thing I want to know is where are my weaknesses? What am I really looking for? I think what a lot of people do before they hire a financial advisor, and the reason they are disappointed is because their expectation does not match the reality. In other words, the thing that the advisor offers is not what you were hoping to buy. So go in with specifically what you are looking for and then match that up first.
Yeah.
I see a lot of the time when people are disappointed, they're disappointed because they didn't hire the type of advisor. And you could say financial advisor, they could do 500 million different things. They could work a lot of different ways. I think that's job number one. Doug, you were going to say something?
I would just say also be careful, or don't allow yourself to fall into the trap of playing stump the chump with not only financial advisors, but anybody who does more, I'll say, sort of thought leadership work that is on your team, whether it's a lawyer or a doctor or anybody. You're always going to be able to find a question or create one that they can't answer. And don't use that as a reason to weed them out. I would spend more of your time, once you know they have the fundamentals, finding out if this is somebody who's going to work with you to solve problems with you, rather than they don't know some arcane, barely used financial product that you heard about one time. Oh, he doesn't know about that? Well, then I don't want to use him because he doesn't know the whole, all of the tools available. I mean, that's the easiest way to box yourself into a corner.
No, a great financial advisor, to your point, Doug, is more of a jack of all trades. And part of their specialty is knowing where to find it, right? Where do I find it? How do I OG and I in our strategic coach training learned don't ask how, ask who. And often through that one who of a great financial advisor, they can go, this is your who. This is your who. They know you. They know the person on the other end. They can get the job done very, very quickly finding the who's. But even before,
so an owl, is that who we're hiring? Is an owl?
Before you even get to the interview, which now I can see OG has this list of answers from AI, and I'm sure a few of his own. Before you get there, though, you can also look up their designations, their expertise. You can go to their website and find out all that, see how that matches with your expectation with what you're going to get. You can also see the firm that they work with. That will also lead you to some of the processes the bigger firm has. So if it's an Edward Jones advisor, as an example, where all Edward Jones advisors are different from each other, they generally have a way that whole firm works. If it's an Ameriprise advisor, they have a way that firm works. If it's a independent RIA, then that person pretty much is going to have their own thing, which leads you to questions about, okay, what is your process? You can look at all those things on the website and online before you even get there. But then, OG, when you sit down with people, what are some of the questions you found?
Well, I think everything that you guys have already said is probably the biggest pieces of all of this. There's some threshold competencies that I think, you'd search for no matter the professional, right? I mean, like if you're going to go hire somebody to do your taxes, I think you'd go, well, have you done this before? Like, are you registered in the state or in the region or whatever is required by whoever is in charge of that to make sure that you can do that legally? Like you're going to check all that stuff. Obviously questions around pay and, how do they get paid and that sort of thing are super important. But I think the biggest piece, and you guys alluded to this already, is I think that our job as a team is not to necessarily have all of the right answers, although hopefully we have a lot of right answers, but not all of them, to Doug's point, but more to recognize that you're your own person and your journey is going to be different than other people's, but it follows a similar pattern. It follows a similar theme. And I think a good advisor team has been down that path a bunch of times. And so if you're working on, and I think this is what you were talking about, Joe, if you're working on college funding for your kid and you go to a person who really specializes in complex estate and trust planning, you're probably not going to get a lot of really good education funding concepts, and because they're really working in the world of estate and trusts, and that's kind of their specialty, or retirement or something like that. Maybe that person, again, to your point, can hopefully point you in the right direction. But I think our job is much more of a guide than it is to be, telling you exactly how to do stuff. One of my favorite questions to use an example when I talk to people about this is, a lot of times people will say, well, is it better to do pre-tax, like a pre-tax 401k plan or the Roth? And my answer always is, I don't know. You're asking a question that has so many variables to it that there is no right answer. There's ways to think about how to think about this question. And I think that's really a good advisor's job, whether it's a financial advisor, or doctor advisor, or tax advisor, or whatever, is to help you think about how to process the information so that you can make a good decision for your family. We've seen many people, I don't know what number we're on, closing in on 1,600 maybe episodes. And we've seen lots of people who have been wildly successful in their financial lives by doing wildly disparate things. We have people who are really successful with real estate. We have people that are really successful with short-term rentals. We have people that are really successful only investing in index funds. We have people that are successful that are business owners and never invested $1 of money in index funds. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this stuff, but there's a right way that's good for you and your family. And I think having a person that can counsel you on what's going on in your life and has had that experience before, I think is invaluable. So yeah, there's a lot of questions, and you can chat. A little tongue in cheek here about using ChatGPT because of the AI episode, but you can do that. You can say like, what are your credentials? How are you paid? Are you registered? Like all those yes, no questions to check the box to do some due diligence. But really it comes down to, is this person somebody that I would trust and want to hang out with for the next 20 years? And if it's not an immediate yes, then it's got to be an immediate
Got to be a no. Got to be a no.
Because I feel like there's some people, and we've had that, Joe, I know you had that when you were practicing. We have it in the people that we work with. It's like, sometimes you talk, you're like, bang, this is a fit. Everything that you're talking about is stuff that we're really good at. We're getting along really well. This is a perfect fit. this is an easy relationship. If it's not like that, if you're not like super overjoyed of, having to talk to this person, then you probably want to find somebody that you want to spend time with, because you want this person to be on your team. You want to have this person be a resource or this team to be a resource for you. And if you don't feel that way, then find somebody you can.
I think it segues really well into really what's the expectation you should have of the advisor and what's the expectation you should have of yourself. And I think knowing these two things before you even ask what the price is really important. From the advisor, I think a crucial question you need to ask is, when should I expect to hear from you? How often should I hear from you?
Mhm.
What are the expectations around me hearing from you? As an example, when I was an advisor, I had a certain number of times that we would meet, and then they could expect a certain number of phone calls from me. And then the second piece of what should you expect from yourself? I expected when I was an advisor that I was an advisor. I was not the CEO. And there are many times when people, for God knows what reason, you're hiring an advisor as if you're just going to delegate away your financial responsibility and all your stuff. You still have to be the CEO. So what I would tell clients was, between those phone calls and meetings, you're not going to hear from me. And you know why? Because I don't know what's going on in your head. I don't know what's going on in your life. So between those meetings, it's up to you as the CEO to decide when you're going to use me in the advisory capacity. In other words, something comes up, you're buying a new car, call me and go, hey, here's my options on the new car. What do you think, Joe? Feel free to run it by me. For me, that was included. For another advisor, that might not be included. I got my taxes done. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not even an enrolled agent, but I know you, and I've looked at taxes before. If you just want to run it by another person who knows you and has seen a lot of tax returns, have me just glance through it and go, you know what? In my unprofessional opinion, because I'm not a tax CPA, it looks good. But you know how many times I went, no. You did that IRA thing. Remember that. But that was all on you. You changed jobs. The times when I got frustrated was when a client would not involve me and then would hold it against me that I didn't know that they changed jobs and they got a huge raise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell was I supposed to know that?
Well, communication is a two-way street.
Sure.
Joe, I like, you've said it before, and I've always liked when you say that you still are the CEO of your life. But you know we forget that very often. Almost no matter how old you get, you forget that. And you know whose fault that is? Cheryl's. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Because we all start going to doctors when we're kids, or the vast majority of us go to doctors as kids, and whatever the doctor says, you do. We are almost trained from a very young age when we're seeing medical professionals that's the answer. They say, take this medication, or you need this procedure, and you do it. And it takes a long time before you get to the point where you think, no, I get to weigh in on this decision. I mean, I was in my 30s before I realized, hold on, who's driving this bus? And I started to maybe challenge some things and also share some more information with the doctors. To your point about, hey, you bought this financial product, you didn't tell me about it. I can't be held responsible for not, making a recommendation based on that. But I think we all, it's a little beef I have with us, not with the medical community, but with us and the way that we treat that advice we get from doctors. And it starts with pediatricians. I mean, they're the worst, right?
Those pediatricians.
They're just browbeating these little kids.
My wife gets so thrilled at the end of every day. I made a bunch of kids cry, giving them shots. So great. Yeah, I think that's really important. But it's after all that for me. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? Then ask what the fee is. One of my biggest beefs, OG, with the financial community, the writing community online, the blogging community, is they're always like, ask how much they charge first. That's like walking into a Jaguar dealership, not looking at one car, not even knowing it's a Jaguar dealership and going, hey, what does it cost? What does the car cost? What kind of car are you looking for? It's just like your Roth IRA versus pre-tax, OG. I don't know. I mean, the best thing the car salesman could say then is, I don't know. What are you talking about? The car? Are you kidding me? Really? The car? And yet in the financial writing world where I was like, first thing you got to do is ask them how much they charge. What the hell are you getting?
It's all about the same anyway.
Sooner or later, it's the same. Well, sooner or later it is.
You're going to find some people that are a little less expensive, a little more expensive, a little structured a little differently. Like, well, I do it this way. I do it that way. Okay. It's in the ballpark of all being about the same. You know why? because that's how the market works. And I don't mean the market like the stock market. I mean the market of, markets. It's just apples are priced the same. It doesn't matter what grocery store you go to. You go, well, I can get them at Sprouts for a little less. Okay. All right. They're having a special on apples today. Tom Thumb's not going to keep up with Sprouts all the time, but they're pretty close. They're in the ballpark. That shouldn't be a deciding factor.
These are adorable grocery stores that you're going to. I want to know where you're shopping.
Oh, he doesn't have Sprouts where he lives.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
It's like Whole Foods, but maybe better, I think.
Yeah.
Less Amazon-y.
Hot take.
Yeah. That's where you draw the line.
Yeah. Amazon. It's just, at the end of the day, you have to find the person that's right for you, and it's about value, and it's about, can that person guide your family, or that team of people guide your family for the next 2 decades? And if that is what you get out of it, then that's great. So yeah, there's a lot of questions that you can type into GPT here and check a bunch of boxes. But I really, really, really strongly believe that it's a good fit and it's the right time. And that's a feeling of a relationship that is immeasurable.
Yeah. I'm glad we covered that versus the different ways that advisors are paid. By the way, you can look all that up online, but that also has to do with the fit, right? If you want somebody to do this type of work for you, then there's a way to pay those people. If you just want piecemeal, either A, it's going to be just a hourly fee, or B, a commission because I just want to buy the product.
Right.
If you want somebody to, in Roger Whitney's words, walk life with you, then you want an advisor that helps you look at the whole thing for your whole life. Then it might be a percentage of assets. It all depends, truly. If you just start off with, what do I want? Then look at the fee structure. It should just be a fit that way. So you can look all that up, John, online though. That's always kind of the basic stuff. But I hope today really helped you get to the more nuanced stuff, which is why I think most people get frustrated, is because of the stuff that we talked about today. People don't often consider. Thanks for the question. Guess what's happening on Wednesday? Wednesday, we are taking a lot of your questions. So if you're like, you know what, you haven't taken my question, well, that's because the mailbag's gotten a little full. So Wednesday is all questions all the time. It's going to be a great episode. Can't wait. But before we get there, let's wander out on the back porch for a minute, because we've had a couple of cool discussions going on with our stackers.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about 2 of them. The first one I want to talk about is Shane. Shane Spinner kind of called me out. This is a couple of weeks back, but he called me out because apparently I maybe have said some disparaging things about the fine vehicle out of Detroit called a Pontiac Aztek.
I think you said it was a really cool car.
I've rarely said that, so I don't remember if that's.
I think you said it on the podcast. What a cool car it was.
There were a number of features about it that were innovative at the time. You could get these add-ons to it, open up the back, and kind of have a tent come out, and you'd have like this tray that would extend that would allow you to lay down.
You're saying it was the car version of a mullet.
It was 100%
business in the front, party in the back.
100% the car version of a mullet. I mean, if Walter White didn't drive one of those things, this thing would forever be the modern time equivalent of an Etzel. But then Breaking Bad shows up and now it's cool all of a sudden. And I love, Shane said his insurance considers it a sport wagon, which has to be the greatest whitewash of a car description that I can think of. That's just fantastic. But
those cars, by the way, went away a long time ago. And Shane, your photo of that car looks to be in great shape, Doug.
He could clean the brake dust off his wheels a little bit, but he probably needs to polish up the headlights a little bit, but it honestly does. It looks like it is in good shape. And
that's why OG had 3 kids, to have people to go out to the garage and take the brake dust off of the cars.
Who not how?
That's what kids are for.
I want to move on. Thanks, Shane. I want to move on to Jimmy O'Brien, who wrote in also a couple of weeks ago, commenting on work available in the trades. Jimmy says, just listen to episode 1688. There's your answer, OG. We've had at least 1688
We're almost at 1700. I was way off.
And you guys were talking about trades and how well they're paid. I work at a local township for water and sewer and became a water treatment operator. Took 8 years, many state exams, and a class through a VOTEC school. Our job positions are hurting for people across the whole United States. Not only working for townships, but no one will go to school to get these licenses. The money's out there if you go get them. I think he means the licenses or the certifications.
Well, the cha-ching, if you get the certification, the cash comes with it.
Right.
That's exactly what we were talking about, Jimmy, in our headline today. That is 100% what we're talking about. And you know what's cool, OG? is that Jimmy was being paid the whole time, ostensibly, that he's getting this training. How great is that? Instead of paying out, I mean, the net difference between all that money out in student loans versus all the money in, just.
I'm guessing he did that it says he took 8 years and many state exams. Imagine if AI was around when he was doing that. He could have just had AI take the exams for him.
And then we wonder why the water utility is not working right.
Why does my water taste funny?
Is it supposed to be that color?
When Jimmy's typing into ChatGPT, how to stop people from dying. Like
why does my water taste like pee? Again.
No. No.
I'm sure it'll clear itself up.
Oh, man. All right.
But some good comments in the basement lately. Thanks, everybody. Keep putting stuff out there. It's fun to hear what you do. We're starting to hear from a lot of different people. We've got I have super fans out there who are posting in the basement. You guys have a couple, but it's great to see some new names popping up. Hadn't heard, I don't think I recall hearing much from Jimmy in the past or from Shane. So keep it coming. It's fun to hear a lot of different voices.
Yeah. Thanks for that. All the fun comments on Spotify and elsewhere. Super fun to have this community episode, and we'll continue it on Wednesday, like we said. All right, Doug, get us out of here, man. What are the 3 big things that should be on our to-do list today?
Well, Joe, first, take some advice from our headline. By learning more about AI, you'll see how it can actually help you do more, and you can also figure out where you'll fit to best take advantage of it. Second, speaking of AI, don't share your personal data with it because that'll end up in Zuckerberg's hands sooner or later, assuming he doesn't already have it. But the big lesson? When it comes to taking selfies, Joe's mom's a menace. She's perfect at telling you how to pose and then not including you in the photo at all. God, how many times am I going to fall for that? This show is the property of SB Podcasts, LLC, copyright 2025, and is created by Joe Saul-Sehy. Joe gets help from a few of our neighborhood friends. You'll find out about our awesome team at stackingbenjamins.com, along with the show notes and how you can find us on YouTube and all the usual social media spots. Come say hello. Oh yeah, and before I go, not only should you not take advice from these nerds, don't take advice from people you don't know. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, speak with a real financial advisor. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and we'll see you next time back here at the Stacking Benjamin Show.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.